Hi, this is Mark Wiltshire. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Explore Finland radio show. Today I'm joined by Lari Paski, who's a lifelong supporter of football here in Seinäjoki. He's going to talk with me today a little bit about the history of football in Finland, in Seinäjoki, and what's been going on in this area in the last few years. So, Lari, thanks for speaking to me today.
Yeah, thank you. Nice that you have me.
So, we've known each other a few years. I know a little bit about your football background, but tell me when it was you first got into football in general.
My first time what I can remember when I was introduced to football was when I was watching with my father FA Cup. Game, English FA Cup game from the television, and it was black and white television at the time, and maybe I can't remember what game we were seeing there, but we were seeing some games, and that is the first influence for me to football, and then I went to we were living in an area near Keskuskenttä, which is the main stadium here in Seinäjoki, and we were living really quite close over there. So when I was a kid, I was biking and seeing in the park. I see all the players who were there, who were going to training sessions and meet them there. Then there was Sepsi.
We're talking about in the 1980s now.
It was 80s and also maybe even 70s, because I was like 3 years old or something like that. And then there was obviously I have my there was this one old couple who was watching me when my parents were at work. So we were walking on the park, and we went to see their training. At the time, they were called Seinäjoen Jalkapallokerho, which is SEPS. So it's not Sepsi 78 because they went to bankrupt, and then there was Sepsi 78. And they changed their colors and everything, because they were first they had green colors. But those were my first ever memories from football. But I can't remember anything else. But I only remember that they have green shirts and they were playing over there. But then they changed to Sepsi 78. And they promoted to first division, and then in the 1980 they get promoted to at the time Mestaruussarja, which is now Veikkausliiga, but at the time they were calling Championship. At the time, and they get promoted to there, and then they actually got lots more junior football at the time, and they have football schools. And I went to one of those football schools, and I was still under school age. I was like 7 or not 7, maybe 5 to 7, some around there. And I went to football school, and they have now they have blue shirts and blue shorts and white socks.
I can see where this is heading.
This is getting to Chelsea.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. It took me a little while to get over the fact that I'd met this guy in Seinäjoki, and I liked him, and we had a lot in common, football and music. And then he tells me he's a Chelsea fan. So you know, this is I'm from the same area of South London, but I'm not the Chelsea Blues. So how did this then develop for you from Sepsi? It's almost the same name, Sepsi and Chelsea, and the same colours.
They have the same colour kit what they're using. But I actually didn't know anything about Chelsea at the time, and I was watching again with my father. I was watching, and this is FA Cup again. They were showing in a TV, and the game was Aston Villa against Chelsea. Or maybe Chelsea against Aston Villa. I can't remember that, but I only remember that the commentator said that this team which has darker kids in a television room, because that was black and white. They said they have fully blue shirts and fully full blue shorts and then white socks, and he said that it is quite similar than like Sepsi from Seinäjoki, who just got up.
So that was the moment that it.
That was the moment when that is my team, and because I thought that they were like Sepsi. Because I bet
there's people listening that have chosen their team for far worse reasons than that.
I was playing football, and there was kindergartens where I actually escaped from the kindergarten all the time and went to play football because the kindergarten was in Ylisentie, Ylisentie, which is right next to Linnapuisto.
Yes.
Okay. And we were living at the area over there, and I was always escaping from the Linnapuisto from Ylisentie päiväkoti from kindergarten, and I went to Linnapuisto and played football over there. And
this explains a lot. I've not heard these stories before. It tells me quite a bit. You mentioned before about Sepsi, the Seinäjoen. What the name?
Seinäjoen Jalkapallokerho.
Okay, I didn't realise.
Seinäjoen Palloseura.
Yeah, I didn't realise that's where that name came from, and I've been aware of Tepe Seinäjoki. I didn't realise that there were two clubs separated by just a few kilometres. Yeah. Both playing at quite a high level. Tell us a little bit about Tepe and Sepsi in
the history of actually. In Finland, they have played football almost more than 100 years, and we were one of the. We don't have nowadays. We don't have so high level football over here, but we used to play in from the 1800th century football, and in Vaasa area and all this area, Vaasa and Pietarsaari and Kokkola. In Kokkola, they actually founded Finnish FA.
Is that right? That's kind of the Swedish area.
Yeah. And the founders were English sailors.
Really? That's a similar story that gets repeated when you look at South America and other places. Okay.
And actually, Finnish FA is much older than Italian FA.
Is that so?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but now we are playing at the level what we are playing. But it was so, and there might be football teams before 1930 in Seinäjoki area also because of that, because we are so near to that area. But the first ever football club here in Seinäjoki area was founded 1930, and that was Seinäjoen Palloseura SEPS.
Yeah, okay.
And this is the same like in Finland. There is lots of teams like VPS, TPS, and they have this PS.
They use the initials of the Liverpool Football Club is LFC, and those initials get used to identify the teams over here quite a lot. It makes it difficult for me to learn where these clubs are actually based.
Yeah, and also like JK and PS means same in English. If you are changing that is football club.
Yes, I only realised that recently as well. I've got a lot to learn.
So that it's like Helsinki is HJK Helsinki. So it is Helsinki Football Club.
Yes,
actually, and SJK is Seinäjoki Football Club. So Sepsi was Seinäjoki Football Club of Seinäjoki, but then they went to bankrupt in the 78, and then there was Sepsi 78, which they played, but they were same players and everything, but they only changed they have to change the association behind them. And then there is also TP Seinäjoki was formed in 1955.
Okay.
So and also there is Seinäjoen Sisu, and which is formed in 1936. So we have from the
Tepe Seinäjoki
is the youngest one.
No, what does the name say?
Tarnavan Pallo.
Yeah, so Tarnava is nowadays considered to be an area of Seinäjoki, but back then was it sort of a separate village, town, or
it has never been separate to Seinäjoki because Seinäjoki was formed in the area of Turnava. There was this Turnava's mansion of Turnava over there. So that is the first France or first mansion of on this area.
Okay.
And also
like manor house.
And also there is this Yritys area.
Nowadays it's almost like an open air museum. Celebrating the industry that used to go on there.
Yeah, and that area is Turnava, and they were playing over there. So they were like how you say, if you in England, I know that you don't have. You have lots of those teams from the cities, and because the cities are much more bigger. But in Finland, we are saying that they are lähiöjoukkue. Lähiöjoukkue means that suburban team.
Yeah, suburban
team. Yeah, like that. So they were like that. But nowadays they are the whole area, working in whole area, and they have both. Then there was the Sisu was a little bit. They were more like they have wrestling and bowling teams
like
and
athletics club.
Yeah, it was like that. And they were also in Finland. We have this right wing and left wing thing, or maybe more like this when they had this civil war between Reds and Whites. So they were a little bit like red.
Okay.
And then so they chose.
And they still play in red as well.
Yeah. And they actually chose. There was two FAs in Finland. The other one was for communist or maybe working workers. And then there was this, which is nowadays the only FA, was this other one. So they chose the other one, and they played in their series. And these two clubs played in a different. And so. And they in nationwide and also in international wide, they don't recognize any of those Tulvas, that FA's name, TUL.
The alternative.
Yeah, they don't recognize that their series or anything like that. But in Seinäjoki, these two clubs, Sepsi and TP Seinäjoki, they were competing each other, but they have their own successful eras.
Yes, okay.
Because Sepsi was successful in the 80s, and at the time, TP Seinäjoki was only suburban team at the time, and they were small club at the time, and Sepsi was quite big club at the time actually, and they were playing three years in a row in a championship, and they went to 2 times in a Finnish FA Cup final. Final also. I was present in the second one.
Okay, nice.
And then they have their time, so then they relocated, and the usual thing that when you are relocating, all the players are going out, then you get some financial problems and things like that. And so they get down and they get they formed like they were like second level team at the time, and then TP Seinäjoki is doing their things, and they have more. They were more into youth system, and they tried to develop that youth system at the time, and they have from over there they gained more good players, and they were getting bigger than Sepsi was.
So as one team declined, the other
other one came up. Yeah. And TP Seinäjoki's their best time was in the middle of the 90s. They played many years. They played in the first division, but then they get promoted to Premier League, which was at the time they have changed it. Veikkausliiga from the old championship had changed it to their name. As like in England, they have Premier League nowadays, and they have at the time they have.
It's very difficult talking back over the years when the division, the name of the division changed.
Yeah, they have changed. Yeah. But now the Veikkausliiga was formed in 1995.
Okay.
So 2 years after Premier League, and TP Seinäjoki get promoted in 1996, and they played in 1997. They played in the Premier League, and they get relegated right after. They were like
this yo-yo
team, a little bit like that, and they played in the first division. Then they also get to playoff to the playoff for next season.
Yeah.
They almost got back there, but then they lose to the not Haka. Was it? It was TPV Tampere. They win that time, and then another time there was a good team and good old youngsters from Seinäjoki, but when they get relegated and they didn't get promoted back to Veikkausliiga, all the players went out. They went to play in VPS, like Jyri Hietari went to VPS, and there was Toni Lehtinen who went to Peterborough, and there was a lot. They went to
Peterborough in the UK.
To Peterborough, yeah.
Okay.
And they went abroad, and they went to all the other teams in Finland who are playing in Veikkausliiga. And then we have this black era. Okay. Like 10 years in Seinäjoki.
Is this with no top flight football in Seinäjoki?
Yeah. They were playing in second division, both teams.
Okay.
And they were competing each other in a second division.
So these are two teams in what is basically the third level of Finnish football.
Yeah.
From a town that at the time had maybe 35, 40,000 people living in it. Yeah. So it's difficult to sustain in a sport also that's not the kind of national sport of the country. It's maybe the third or fourth most popular, I guess.
And also in this area, there's Finnish baseball.
Yes, yeah. I think that I'll probably end up speaking about that in one of my future episodes. That's a curious game. Yeah. It's fun, but it's curious.
Yeah. So they were competing each other, and they were all the players. They have some kind of loyalty to team what they have been playing in since their childhood. But there has been so many joint teams in the youth time, so they know each other from the. So they don't have good rivalry.
Yeah, and a bit too friendly.
Yeah, and also there is rivalry between players, and maybe the most fierce rivalry was between the boards.
Yeah,
okay. They hate each other, but all the audience was same. All the audience who are going there, they were seeing both teams play.
Hey, when I was a kid, my dad is a Fulham fan.
Yeah.
And back in those days, Fulham were the bigger team like they are now. So we would go and watch Fulham play, and then when they were playing away, we'd go and watch Wimbledon, who were at that time probably in the fourth level of English football, where they are again now. So I kind of see that. You go and watch the nearest game rather than supporting your team home and away.
Yeah, and also at the time in Seinäjoki there wasn't if you want the youngsters, if you want to study, you can't study here in Seinäjoki, but nowadays you can. Yeah. There's lots of things changed here in Seinäjoki, and this is getting much bigger town all the time.
We have this situation where you've got two second tier clubs not really going anywhere, fighting for the same crowd. So how did the current team, SJK Seinäjoen Jalkapallokerho, how did that come to be formed?
Yeah, because I was talking about those that players they have loyalty, but they don't have so much loyalty. So they changed the team to the other team who is paying more.
Yeah, so backwards and forwards.
That changes the whole rivalry between those teams. That they got economic problems because salaries went high. And this area was that nobody else is coming to Seinäjoki from outside of Seinäjoki, and you only have those players which are from this area, and they were competing. They were putting contest between the teams who is paying much more, and then the better players went to that who is paying more. So there was those boards has people who used to be in a board of one club, but nowadays they went out because they don't like that competing thing, and also like me, I used to play in Sepsi when I was youngster, but I have supported deep in Seinäjoki in the 90s, And I was traveling all over Finland with the supporter group of that. Actually, I was forming the supporter group of TP Seinäjoki. But there was things that I was always saying that I would like to see only one team in this area. At the time, I was talking that I was hoping that it would be Sepsi. I was always saying if I ever win lottery, I bought Sepsi and then I bought also TP Seinäjoki and for only one club over here. But then there was these guys who's people who like Martti Lepistö and a few others. I can't remember the guys' names, but they were tired about that contest between these clubs, and they were saying that they have enterprises here in Seinäjoki, and they were giving money for the other club, and they also wanted to support the other club, but they don't know how to react when some board members are saying that if you are giving money for them, you understand.
It's like, I do understand it. It makes me think of the situation in Glasgow where quite often a company will sponsor Rangers and Celtic so that they don't alienate half of the cities.
It's similar thing over here. And then these guys said that we are forming a new club and we want that both clubs are signing over there. And actually they formed a new club, SJK, and they talked with the both boards and said that the top level football of their clubs are coming to on the SJK.
So it was a group decision that everyone
they started as a one team, but then they also talked that they are taking under 19 team also. At 2007 when they formed this club, they take that, and also they have this football academy for younger players than under 19. But then still TP Seinäjoki and Sepsi has their own teams, and they have their own teams, but they they played on the much more the lower levels.
Yeah, and it's also a lot of junior football, isn't it? There's a lot of junior football here, and all of these clubs you've mentioned. SJK has children's teams and for boys and girls, and then there's TP and Sepsi and Sizzle. All four of those are still going at various different age groups, all feeding up to the professional club, which is now
and also this area, this Ostropothena area, there is from Ilmajoki there's club who is only have youth players over there, and also in Lapua they have, and in Kauhajoki and Alavus and all these small places around Seinäjoki, they have youth clubs. And so nowadays, the whole system is now that we have only one club, and now TP Seinäjoki has changed their names. They are now SJK Juniors.
We moved our family over to Finland 6 years ago, so 2008. So actually, that wasn't so long after the club was formed, which I didn't realise at the time. I met you and came to watch my first game when SJK were in the division called Kakkonen, which is the third level leading up to the Veikkausliiga. I didn't realise at the time that it was such a new club, but I went down there and there were maybe less than 1,000 people watching the game, and yet there was this group of guys standing in the corner of the stand singing and shouting and making a noise. But I'm guessing that's not typical of Finnish football culture generally over the years. Certainly not in the third level.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about Finnish football fan culture.
Yeah, actually, Finnish football culture is really new. We have been surrounded here by Russian football culture, and also Swedish football culture, and also Norwegian football culture, and then Germany and Holland and things like that. They were surrounding our country. but that is funny thing that all those countries has great and long history of supporters in football. But in Finland, it's in the 80s there was groups, but they weren't so organized.
Okay.
They only went to few games, not all the games, and only if there was like when Sepsi get promoted, then they were bus drive over there, and there was group who was singing and chanting at the time. But in the 90s, we formed for TP Seinäjoki, we formed Orange Army.
Yeah.
Actually, it's in the name. Orange Army, because they were playing in an orange shirt, and we have been in Stockholm, and I was also I got some kind of sympathy for AAK of Stockholm.
Okay.
And I went to see AAK, and they have this black army thing, what they are calling over there. So we were, and we were actually quite close to Stockholm from here, this area. And in Finland there wasn't there was only spectators, but not supporters. There was guys who had scarves and things, but they don't have guys who stands and chants and sings and have organized thing going on. So we try to change that. Basically,
while you were following TP.
Yeah. The core group of Orange Army was only like 5 guys, and we were fans of English football, and we were watching English football all the time together. I had been told you about those radio when we used to have we didn't have antennas, and we used to stand in a corner at that.
You were saying before that you used to watch the TV in black and white.
Yeah.
That particular story is even more old school. Just explain that way how you used to follow the football from England.
Yeah, we were following Match of the Day from the BBC radio.
Okay.
They were changing all the time, and only in Finnish football, in Finnish TV, they only shows one game per week, or maybe not even that. So, if you were supporting teams like Chelsea, and they were playing at second division at the time, I can't see any games like in 5 years maybe.
Hey, I remember when Chelsea were in the second division, and you didn't miss anything. There wasn't anything worth seeing.
Yeah, but I remember that too. So we were guys who we have been in contact with supporters group in England, and we have in Finland we have this Premier League supporters group or something like that, some association where you get all the fans from the teams gathering and talking football.
Difficult to imagine nowadays that you know we're broadcasting this on the internet, but it wasn't so long ago that there was no internet. It was all radio, and there wasn't much coverage on TV when we were kids and things like that.
Yeah, and all the results were like, if the game was on Saturday, then I maybe on Monday or on Thursday I find the result.
Really, a Monday?
Yeah, on Monday. Because from newspaper. Because newspaper didn't came out on Sunday. They only came out on Monday.
Okay.
At the time.
Agony of waiting 2 days.
You can imagine how the promotional fight or relegation fight would be at the time. Yeah. But so we were football fans, and we were watching local football also, because we all used to play also football, and we went to see TP Seinäjoki's game because they were getting up. And then we started that maybe we should do here something like what they are doing in Stockholm or in England. Maybe we should make some chants and start singing. We started singing. There was only five of us or something like that, and basically that is the born of modern day supporters culture in Finland. Okay. Because after that was 1995. And nowadays, after that, 1997 or 1996, they formed FC Lahti supporters.
Okay.
And they were the first supporter club what we met ever, because they came here.
So you had a hand in the creation of the Finnish football, kind of the football chant, the traditional British style of football supporting.
Yeah, maybe that. But also I think at the time there was lots of other who were thinking like me and my friends. But at the time there wasn't internet, or maybe there was, but they didn't use it for football at the time. Actually, TP Seinäjoki was the first club ever went to internet.
Okay.
In Finland.
Back in those internet 1.0 days.
Yeah, 1996 or 1995, maybe at the time.
And that supporters group now has evolved into what you now call the Kloppit.
Yeah.
Which is the kind of independent supporters club for SJK here in Seinäjoki.
Yeah. It was the base of Kloppit was the same guys who was there with Orange Army, but at the time there was little kids who were like 8 or 9 or 10 years old who were running around us, and we were 17 or 20 years old at the time, and they were running all around, and now these guys are 20 years old and they are with us with Kloppit, and now there's other 7 or 8 years old who are running around.
It's true, there are. When I go to the games, I often see you there, and I'm an Englishman abroad, so that kind of football culture is in me, and I enjoy the whole thing of standing there with my friends and clapping and singing, and then you see these kids in front and they're sort of looking round with this look in their eyes, and you think, you'll be here. In 10 years' time, you'll be here. Yeah. Hopefully. That's how you want it to go.
Yeah. No, I can see when they are when they think that I'm not watching. I see when they are singing all the songs and chanting and clapping their hands and things like that. So that is really heartwarming to see that. And also there's players like Toni Lehtinen. He was one of those young guys who was sitting in the near us and watching us, and he said he has always said that if we he said at the time that if I'm not managing footballer as a footballer, then I'd go with those guys.
And he plays for SJK.
Yeah, nowadays
as a striker at the moment. So, but one day when he retires, he'll be back on those wooden benches.
But actually, he was. He after that he went to play up-road. He played for Peterborough, and then he went to Haka, where he won 2-time Veikkausliiga the striker award, and then
like the top goal scorer.
Yeah, goal scorer, and he was playing in Finnish national team, and he also played in Greece and Switzerland, and was he in Austria also.
Yeah. Wanted to ask you about what's been going on at SJK over the last 4 years or so. Because things have certainly taken a turn for the better over that time.
Yeah. We got Raimo Sarajärvi, who is now our chairman. He's the businessman here in Seinäjoki area, and he used to be a football player also. He used to play in TP Seinäjoki and Sepsi, and he's only person who has ever been captain of those 2 teams also. So he's like could be chairman of SJK, which is one of those two teams altogether, and he's investing his money for SJK, but he's not like sugar daddy thing going on. But maybe somebody outside from SJK might think that. But he's guy who is investing his money because of love of the football. He don't get ever any profits from SJK, and he don't get his money back what he has invested. But he has talent to gather all the other businessmen here in this area behind the team and behind this whole thing, and he's knowing all the other company owners here in this area, and in this area there's lots of small and middle-sized companies here in Seinäjoki area, and we had like 24 owners.
So he's the figurehead.
Yeah,
this is probably why he seems like the benefactor, but he's not bankrolling the whole club, just figureheading a bigger group. Yeah,
and he wanted to do something for football because it's so close to his heart, football, and also Seinäjoki football, because his son is playing football, and that's why, and also he used to himself play football. So first, what he first do here was wall sport, the training center.
Yes, okay.
The training center, they built that in 2009, and he came as SJK's chairman in the end of the 2009. And 2010 we have a new coach, and we have lots of good sponsors like Adidas Finland, who is at the time Adidas was only HJK's and Finnish national teams sponsor.
That's quite something for SJK, who at that time were in the third level.
Football, But he has a vision. He said that he wanted to make SJK something bigger and something. He wanted that the whole base is from youngsters and youth players. But at the time we don't have players who were ready football players. We only have those players who has been played in the second division, but we have good youngsters who always go abroad, like Tero Mäntylä, and Tero Mäntylä is one of the examples, and he went out here because he was too good to play here in Seinäjoki. So we needed to get back those players in Seinäjoki, and also make those young players something what they wanted to be, and with the aim is
to build a team that the players can play for and stay in Seinäjoki, keep the better players here.
Because we were talking earlier that when I was young there wasn't schools and anything, but nowadays there is, so you can study here and you have work career here after football if you want to. But at the time when I was young there wasn't. But now all the good young players went to some other teams because of the football level isn't good enough. So he wanted to make that standard much higher. And we have this training center, wall sport, what he built.
Which is a purpose-built indoor training center, modern 3G, artificial surface, and it's in this big bubble. Basically, it's a bubble, isn't it?
Yeah. And there is also office building where there is all.
But the good thing about wall sport arena is that it's not just for the club, but it's a community facility as well. So, I've played there in the evenings, and I know that the kids sometimes go there with the schools and things like that. So.
And actually, all the schools can use that during the daytime.
Yeah, okay.
And they can use that for free.
Okay.
And that was the first thing, and then he started to bring coaches for the youth teams also, and paid for them, because at the time they were
like
part-timers. But then they were now they have academy which have full-time coach and things like that, and also first team got in Finland. Normally most of the teams they have only the head coach. It's only full-timer.
Okay.
And maybe all the others are part-timers, like all the physios and those. They are part-timers. But he changed that. He built the whole backroom staff who were all professionals. And that changed it a lot. They started to train like professionals. They started to do all the things like professionals. Even those guys who were second-level players. But also those players obviously they don't have time to train so much and things like that. So they have to change the whole club as a professional club from part-timers.
So when it was in the third level in Kakkonen, they were still professional, basically.
Yeah.
A full-time club.
Yeah. And normally in Finland, second division teams, they are not professional teams.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
And that had a dramatic impact because from 2009 to 2013, the club and its position in the league really raised itself.
And nowadays plans for new own stadium and things like that, and this is going to and Sarajärvi is really ambitious guy. He's saying things like he wants to challenge HJK.
Okay.
For the first place, because HJK is really, they have dominance here in Finland. They have won 6 times in a row Finnish championship, so there is no match for HJK.
For SJK on the field, this resulted in basically 2 promotions in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And this season is the first time that SJK under that name has been in the Veikkaus League, the Finnish Premier League.
Yeah, and also this is and now we are in a situation that there is only two games left, and we have already guaranteed a medal and Euro spot.
Yeah, and I think that's the most amazing thing is that as supporters that's been on this journey over the last few years. I think most supporters are realistic and think, okay, we're in the promised land.
Yeah.
Let's stay there. Mid-table, build on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know any other supporters that thought this season would go as well as it has. So the worst position that SJK now can finish is
third. Yeah. So we can be third or second. HJK has already won the championship, but we are competing for the second spot between FC Lahti.
Yeah, and both of those positions qualify for a Europa qualification stages. Which is unbelievable.
Yeah. Like 3 years ago, we still played in the second league.
Yeah, exactly.
And things has gone fast for the first team, but in behind that there was solid. Basic foundation for SJK. The whole thing is based on youth, and there's lots of youth and things that they are doing, good things and right things with the youth over there, and the youth level is rising. There's more players coming over all the time, and now they are. The scouting thing has changed, that they are now scouting players in this area, all the best players in this area, in this whole Botnia area. We are changing, and all around Finland, they are changing the thing that in Finland there is no club who has academies like in England, where they can live together and they can train together and they can study together. There is no clubs like that, but the SJK are going to be like that.
Okay.
So they are now building the academy where you can, all those players, because Raimo Sarajärvi he's building flats here in Seinäjoki, and they have SJK is owning lots of flats here in Seinäjoki, and also in Vaasa, and they have invest money over there. So they have lots of properties like Wolfsport and those. So economic problems doesn't affect so much for SJK.
It's not all just reliant on the first team generating money.
It's not that.
Business there.
It's not that, and also not in sponsorships or anything like that. So they have made a good foundation on that, and they are now building that even higher level. But then again, there is this first team, and first team is now changed since 3 years. There's like maybe 4 players who was playing in the second division.
But I think actually that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Players to be left over from 4 years ago and 2 divisions lower. Right? I mean, it's good that they've grown with the club, and that does happen.
Yeah, and we have also this reserve team, which is playing in the second league here, third division here, because we don't have reserve series here. But all the reserve teams are playing in the same competitions like all the other teams. So. We have this Kerho 07, which is playing in our second division, and all the older players are there as like mentors for the youngsters. And last season they were playing with a team where there was like opening lineup. There was like 9 youngsters, like players from 16 to 19.
From Seinäjoki.
From Seinäjoki, all those players were there, and they were playing against teams where they are professional players. So things have really gone fast, and also we have lots of young who is playing boys national teams and also under 20 teams and things like those, which have changed that, because we usually we have one talent.
Yeah.
Here in Seinäjoki, but now we have 10 talents here in Seinäjoki. So we are not team of Seinäjoki-born players at the time, but we might be in the future.
And that will only help the club to connect even closer to the local community. That's
yeah.
For sure. We talked a couple of times. You mentioned Keskuskenttä, which is the central field, I guess is a good translation, and it's more of an athletics stadium at the moment, where we watch the team running around in the middle of the athletics field.
And built in the 40s, actually.
Yeah, and it's it's showing its age a little bit. And there are plans for a purpose-built football stadium.
Yeah.
You've teased me with a few comments about how this is going to work. Maybe just tell us a little about what we can expect.
So they are building undersoil heating, and they're going to be full seats covered football stadium for 5,000 or 6,000 people, because our usual gates are like around 2,000 and 3,000 or maybe 4,000 or something like that.
4,000 for a nice warm summer day against one of the local rivals.
Yeah. But also in Finland, people are watching lots of ice hockey, and in ice hockey they have warm ice halls, where there's all A-grade bars and things like that. So people have used to that kind of. They want some kind of luxury also for football stadiums. So you need to have better stadiums here in Finland in the first place. But and that is changed for that, and
but there aren't many purpose-built football stadiums, are there? Really, a lot of them have
maybe
a
like
track.
There's from Tampere, Helsinki, Kotka, Turku, maybe 10 in all
the
levels,
divisions.
all divisions. I mean, maybe 10 only football purpose stadiums. And that's going to be a stadium for you can play youth games over there, and also youth national teams can play over there, and it's going to be changing that. And it is built right next to Wallsport, so we have training center and stadium right next to it. So
right next to each other, but on the side of a hill.
Yeah, but on the side of a hill. Yeah.
I'm guessing that the playing surface will be level, rather than kicking uphill in the first half.
Yeah, I've seen one picture from Scotland where they are playing in the side of a hill. There's a little bit. So and a football pitch is not level.
It's not going to be like playing in Peru where you have to worry about the altitude. Either.
Yeah.
This is
clouds.
This is the biggest hill in Etelä-Pohjanmaa. It's not. It's very far from being a mountain.
Yeah, so they are, and that stadium will be ready for 2016.
Yeah, when the season starts early in that year. Yeah, which is only 18 months to wait. It's quite exciting, and if they can keep the momentum going next year on the pitch, then they'll go into that season on a high. Yeah. So if people, I think we've kind of given everyone quite a good idea of football in Seinäjoki and in Finland. If anyone listening to this is interested in, if they're in Finland and they think they want to check out a game, give just a bit of an idea of when the football season begins and ends, and how people can find out more about the football here or SJK or anything like that.
Yeah. In Finland they are playing in the winter time. They are playing this Liga Cup, which is played inside halls, like indoors football, because we have harsh winter here in Finland. So in winter time they are playing that, and the real season, Veikkausliiga season, is starting on March. End of the March, and usually it's end in October. But they have plans to stretch that more because nowadays we have lots of games and maybe there might be 2 games in a week, so it's too tight calendar for footballers. But they are having this. Winter season when we are playing this Liga Cup, and this season SJK won that Liga Cup.
That's true. It was a good start to what turned out to be a really good season.
Yeah. So we are starting on January. They are starting to play those, and we have also lots of friendly games, and we have tournaments like Komia tournament here in Seinäjoki, and they are playing now in January. Tournament is playing on end of the January.
But the real season starts at the end of March, and if anyone listening to this is in Finland, wants to come and check out a game, where can they find out more information?
SJK website is good place for that, and also
the address there is
sjk2007.fi.
Yeah, okay.
And then also SJK's Facebook site, and on SJK's Twitter. Twitter is also good. We have also Instagram and
so all the usual social networks that you might expect to find a football club. If you type in SJK and 07 together, you'll probably find what you're looking for there. Obviously, there's the Veikkausliiga
website, veikkausliiga.com.
I'm going to include some show notes. So I'll include some links to some of the websites that Lari and I are talking about, and I've also come across 1 or 2 other English language websites and Twitter feeds that talk about Finnish football. So there will be a few of those to refer back to.
Escape to Finland.
That's one of Escape to Finland is one that I see quite often. So I think that we've probably covered football in Seinäjoki, certainly up till the present day now, towards the end of the 2014 season. So thank you very much for joining us. Lari, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'd just like to ask everyone listening that if you've enjoyed the show, to head over to iTunes or wherever it was you found the podcast today, to rate and review the show. That will help me find a bigger audience. Also, head over to my website, which is the explorefinlandpodcast.com, explorefinlandpodcast.com, where you'll find the show notes for today. You can sign up to my mailing list, and I will email you with the show notes every time there's a new episode available. And there's also some other interesting bits and pieces about life, culture, nature, and Finland in general that you might find interesting. I'm Mark Wiltshire. Once more, thank you very much for joining us, and see you again next time.